What is up, guys? Kartaka here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be doing a deck profile on the Dukemon X deck, or Gallantmon X-Antibody from X Record. So the deck got a lot of boosts from the new set, and it's very, very consistent now, and there's also a lot of draw power because of the X-Antibody mechanic. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck first. For the level 7s, we are running two Crimson modes, mainly running these just because these are just a really good card to finish off your opponent. If the game drags on a bit and they have a really solid deck, you can just wipe their security with its effect and then just go for a game with his attack. So still a really good card. If you don't have the budget to run these, you can take these out for something. I'll talk to you guys about that at the end when we're talking about card options for swapping out cards. So next, for the level 6s, we're running 3 of the Dukemon X-Antibody. I was running 4 before. I don't really like running it at 4. I think 3 is a fine number. You can bump this up to 4 if you want. This is one of the cards that you can run in place of the Crimson mode. Mainly because his effect is not... His popping effect only works once on evolution. And then his second effect, you can trash the security when something is deleted, but it doesn't really work that well with himself, so you kind of need your Digimon in the base evolution sources to work with it, and that's why I'm running 3. It's a good card, but by itself it's not amazing. Next, we are running 3 of the EX2 Dukemon. This card is still pretty good. He gets 2,000 power on his own turn, so he can attack for 14k, which is something the X-Antibody has a problem with because it doesn't boost himself. And in this deck, we're not really running a lot of things that can... Actually, no, we're not running anything that can boost their attack line, so you can crash pretty easily in this deck, which is why you mainly rely on trashing your opponent's security with effects. But there's still times where you can beat them down when your opponent is playing a deck without really big Digimon. But yeah, this one is pretty good, just for board removals and just taking out small Digimon. And with the new evolution sources, you can perhaps pick up a big Digimon if you have the right cards. So pretty good. Next, we're running 2 of the start deck 7 Dukemon. This is the one that gets the extra security check for no reason. And on attack, you can pop something 6k or less. And if you did not pop anything, it becomes a 14k. So what you want to do is not pop anything with this. If they have something that you can pop, then you probably want to... Well, you can pop it anyway, but you prefer to swing with this at 14k so that you get extra security checks. This is one of the cards that can help you catch up in terms of securities. Next, for the level 5s, we are running 3 Gallantmon X-Antibody. So this is the one that can Digivolve for free on top of the regular Gallantmon. So this card has a pretty interesting effect. It gives your opponent's Digimon, 2 of your opponent's Digimon, this effect. The effect is, when this card is deleted, you lose 1 memory. So if you pop 2 Digimons, you get 2 memory back, since it is your opponent losing memory instead of you gaining memory, which kind of works the same way. And so this card it's a very interesting mechanic to add into this deck, and it definitely helps you extend your combos. So we're running 3 of the EX2 Gallantmon. This is the one that increases the threshold by 1,000. Pretty good. And we're running 2 of the start deck 7 Gallantmon. So some people might be asking why I'm not running the Volcano Dramon instead, but that's because this is searchable with a lot of the other cards in the deck. So that's why. And popping stuff is pretty easily. Your opponent can play around it, but if you have this on the board, they're probably going to not put out Digimon on the board for you to pop, so that is also an advantage in your part. So because they cannot attack with other cards next turn if they don't hard cast something on the board, so they have to keep their stuff in the raising area in order to keep it safe. Next, for the level 4s, we are running 4 Gallantmon X-Antibody. This is just it helps you increase your threshold by 1,000, which is amazing. Digivolves for free on top of Gallantmon. And we're running 4 of the start deck Gallantmon. This just helps you get memory, so it's pretty good. Just helps you get memory so you can extend your combos, extend your turn a bit more. Next, we're running 3 of the Gallantmon from EX2. This one on attack, you can pop something 3k or less if you have a Dukemon or Growlmon in its name. Your Digimon has Dukemon or Growlmon in its name. So as you can see, if you do have your evolution line built up properly, you can pop something pretty big, a pretty substantial number. You get 2 from this one and the Gilmon, so that's 5k. You get another one from this one, that's 6k, and then you get 2 more from this one, that's 8k. So you can pop something 8k for attacking. It's pretty good. This is the Gilmon that I was talking about. Just increases the threshold by 1,000. So pretty good. Next, we are running the Searcher Gilmon. This card helps you do the same thing as this Growlmon, but on play, you can also help you search cards in your deck. You can search for a Takados and a Dukemon or Growlmon. So very, very good. And we are running 4 of the start deck Gilmon. So this is the main card that you want to Digivolve into in your raising area, and then you want to slap this on top so that you can get that extra draw, and then you get some nice bonuses just for killing Digimon. So pretty good. Next, for the Tamers, we're running 4 Takados. So Takados is obviously here to give your Dukemon and Growlmon's Blitz. And it also gives you extra memory when you pop stuff on the board. So pretty good. Of course, your opponent, if the opponent's smart, they're going to try to avoid their stuff getting popped. But that's fine. Giving Blitz is just the main thing. A big problem that this deck had before EX2 was that you can attack after you Digivolve, but with this Takados, it just solves the problem. Very, very good. And we're running 2 of the ties, so the Tamer lineup is pretty much the same as the old one. Tai is just a lot better now because of X-Antibody. Reaching 4 sources is very, very easy, especially since you can hard cast this and then do this, and then have something like this and this. It's already 4. You're gonna probably have more than 4 because of your other X-Antibody cards, but yeah, it just makes Tai a lot better. And last but not least, for the option cards, we are running 3 X-Antibodies. So as you can see, I am not running the Cool Boy engine in this deck. I don't really have the space for it. If you are not running the Crimson modes, you can replace these with Cool Boys, and that will be perfectly fine. So this is kind of like a win more card. But honestly, this card does help win games. So I definitely like running this. If you can't get 2, just get 1. That'll be fine as well. But yeah, Cool Boy is the new white tamer from. Give me a sec. All right, so if you guys do not want to run the Crimson modes and you want to run the Cool Boy engine, that's perfectly fine. Just take these 2 cards out for the Cool Boy. This is Cool Boy, by the way, so cool. And then you can run the Cool Boy engine. A lot of the X-Antibody decks are running Cool Boy engine, and I am running the Cool Boy engine in a lot of my other decks. But for this deck, it's a little bit special. I want to max these Takados out just because they are so important to have. So I don't really have enough space to cut anything else out. So most of the time, the things that you can cut out is these cards are kind of floatery. And if you don't want to run 3, you can choose to run 2 instead. But honestly, 3 is a pretty good number. And unlike the Agumon and Gabumon decks, you can't search out for your X-Antibody. So you kind of, if you want to run Cool Boy and use it to search it out, that's fine. But yeah, it's fine. I think that the Gilmon engine, the Gilmon deck had a pretty good core before. So just running these cards as a power up is fine. 4 of each of the new X-Antibody cards, and then the Dukemon changes the deck enough to make it still pretty good. There are some really, really bad matchups in this deck though. For example, the Alphamon decks are really, really bad because if they have the Oryuken, not Oryuken, the Oryomon, they are pop proof, so all your cards are useless. And then if they have the blockers inherit source, then you can't really beat over it either, because it'll be too big. So the only real out you have is attacking with your Dukemon Crimson mode, and then you can attack and just trust the security and just bait it out like that. Him being 15k can be over the Oryuken mode if they didn't get their buffs, but a lot of times it is going to be at least 14 or 15k, so you might be crashing. But yeah, that's kind of the only really bad matchup I can think of. It does pretty well against, I guess it doesn't do that well against deck with a lot of removal as well, because you have one big Digimon on the board, and then when they get rid of it, you have to spend time building out another one, in which they can use that time to just finish you off, since this deck doesn't have any recovery or any protection. Another thing you can run instead of some Crimson modes and stuff is the Gaia Force. So we can run the Red Blaze, and you can run Gaia Forces. Where's my Gaia Force? So these are some of the options you can run if you want to play options instead of the Crimson mode. These are also fine, just helps you remove some cards, but again, it faces the same problem if you're playing against black. They have protection, so you can't pop them with Gaia Force either. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this deck, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be doing a showcase on this deck pretty soon, so you guys can see it in action. But yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, feel free to leave a comment and subscribe, and use the affiliate links down below if you want to buy some cards. But yeah, this is Card Taku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!